Are you trying to learn something new and you've got a lack of confidence on it? Well, following my last episode on perfectionism, I wanted to share 3 tips on building confidence in learning something new. And make sure you get through this whole episode because I've got something special for you at the end as well. Now, I've had many years where, pretty much most of my life where I've been like, right, I struggled or got frustrated on a skill. I'm like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. And it's like, oh, this is really frustrating. I'm not going to learn it. I'm losing my confidence. I'm just not confident. I can't do it. All that kind of self-talk did not serve me. I remember putting myself on camera for the very first time on YouTube. Right, am I the best speaker in the world right now? No, of course not. Right, I like to make podcasts. I like to make YouTube because I'm just me and I enjoy it and I enjoy sharing the message. I always believe if it reaches one person, thanks so much for watching this right now, by the way, or listening to this right now, it's made a difference and I enjoy doing it. And I used to be like terrified to put myself on camera. Fast forward, a few years later, I've hit millions of downloads and I'm impacting many people, right? And I had that struggle at first. I was like, all right, it's not good enough. It's not good enough, all this kind of thing. And I pushed through that. And there's some steps I want to share with you today on how I've overcome that and other areas in my life. And you have too. That's the thing. You have grown in an area in your life before, but you just forgotten about it. Now, there's the 4 stages of learning I want to outline to you before I go into the main tips. The first one is unconscious incompetence. This is where you don't know what you don't know. You're starting something, learn something new. You like have no idea what you don't know. You're like, there's so many things to it, but you're not aware, right? And then you go and practice the thing a little bit, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can't do that. I can't do that. Oh my God, I'm never going to master that. And then you become consciously incompetent. Like you're not quite grasp the skill, but you're aware of what you don't know. Now, this is where a lot of people give up because it triggers the fear that we're not enough. It's like, oh my God, I can't do this, this, and this, and this. If I keep doing this and it's not working, I'm not going to look very good. And it's going to bring up that I'm not enough, right? Which is not true. The next stage is conscious competence, where you're aware and you can start to build the skill. You're starting to do well. You're starting to progress. And then the next level is unconscious competence, where you can do something so good you don't even have to think about it, right? It's just second nature, like driving a car, like being so good at the sport when you get to it, like a musical instrument, right? Now, most people will give up at that second stage, the conscious incompetence, because they're aware of what they don't know and what they can't do, and people try and avoid that. This is where the most learning and growth happens, though. So I want to give you some guidance around that. Now, think about it in your life when you've like given up on something. How does that feel? Probably not so good. And then it's lacking your confidence. So let's go through some points here. The first one is get excited about that moment where you're stuck, right? You're like, yes, this is where I'm really growing. Like, get excited about it. It's like, okay, right. Like, for example, there are things in my business when businesses I've done or like in sales, when it's like, oh, I get stuck, numbers are a bit stuck, and it's like, yes, okay, I'm going to try this approach. Yes, this is a real opportunity for growth because I'm learning here. Or it's been like when I'm trying to learn a sport. I didn't think about it this way, but when I got to like football, I was like really stuck with doing kick-ups and doing some skills. I was like, can't do it. And then I was like, right, I'm going to keep going. And then I started doing really large amount of kick-ups. This is when you're keeping the ball off the floor with just like your body. I think I got to over 700 kick-ups in the end. So that was definitely parts of conscious, unconscious competence at the end of there, when it was just like conscious incompetence before. But yeah, that's something that I'd keep going at, and then that's what really created growth. The second one is get a mentor or group to really push you, because being alone and then having people around you are 2 different things. Because like when you've got people cheering you on and pushing you, that's going to keep an added level of connection to inspire you to keep going as well. And then the third point to do is focus on feeling good every single day. right? Yeah, there's going to be challenges, going to be some days harder than others, but if you put the intention to feel good and be in a high vibration, you're going to learn a lot more and progress a lot quicker. Now, my final point for you is just a little saying that I wanted to share. I learned from one of my mentors that really helped me. Self to self for progress, self to others for possibility. I'll say that again. Self to self for progress, self to others for possibility. Meaning, look at you and look at all the things you've achieved in your life, and you've moved from A to B or A to Z in your life, right? And then look at others, not in like, oh, I'm not as good as them, but wow, they can do that, so I can do it too. So if you start having that perspective shift, it will make a massive difference as well in your learning, because you're like, well, that person's done that, but actually, at one point they were really struggling too. That's really going to create a perspective, and that's therefore possible for me to get there as well. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here, and remember to leave your heart and not with fear.